Good morning, family and friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nyamakuru. If you stumble across my channel, do please subscribe. I just do topics and ideas, that I'm interested in, and as I go along. So today I was hoping to talk about respecting other cultures. Okay, being how do you if you are from a different place and you go and live somewhere new or somewhere different, or you go there for work or to live, whatever. How do you live your life in the place that you've gone so that you're able to respect other cultures? It's a difficult one, isn't it? And the reason I wanted to talk about this thing is because I've noticed that if a person comes from a Western culture and they go to a place where generally, on the whole, people who come from Western cultures sort of imagine that their cultures are always more uh, advanced, if you like, more advanced. Um, they have the upper hand when it comes to resources and economics and so on and so forth. And it does take a discerning person from Western cultures to go to a place that's different and try and fit in and oblige with what is going on around them. Okay, so it's not something that people do so easily. Go to a different country and just fit in with the culture there. Um, it takes time in the first place to assimilate somebody else's way of life, culture, and everything else that's going on, traditions, and all of that that's going on around you. And for myself, being an immigrant to the United Kingdom, although I was very young, I was just out of school at the time that I went to the UK. I found that sort of being part of that culture, um, it didn't take long because I was much younger. I'd come from a background that I could see aspects of Western culture quite clearly and easily. I'd gone to an international school. I'd spoken English right from, I don't know, it could be nursery school really. So it wasn't that difficult on the one hand. On the other hand, there were certain things like the lack of family life, like the food and being with other people that I struggled with quite a lot. But eventually, you sort of got there. And insofar as wearing clothes were concerned, or style of dress, or appearance, on the whole, you just did what other people were doing, but you sort of did it in your own style, and that was acceptable. You couldn't like go out to work, for example, in full African um, gear. You just couldn't do that. you know, because you'd feel you'd feel at odds with it, wouldn't you? You'd feel as though um, you weren't quite doing the right thing. So the point I'm trying to make is when people come to African countries, and African culture it's not homogeneous. I mean, there are different aspects and types and expressions of African culture all over the continent. Um, in some parts, most people are quite conservative, particularly women, in the way that they express themselves or the way that they dress, and that's fine. That's okay. It doesn't mean, for some people, it doesn't mean that they are repressed or subdued or put down or anything like that. It's a personal preference. I wouldn't want to go out with half of my bottom leg showing, for example, and that's my personal preference. I don't want everybody looking at my legs in that way. It's nothing to do with the fact that um, nobody's putting me down, nobody's forcing me to do anything, nobody's saying that I've got to look this way or another way. And I'm sort of at that age and stage in life where I pretty much make the decisions that I want. Um, and whether society agrees with it or not, I'm not really worried about it. Not now. Perhaps I was earlier on as a younger person, but I'm certainly not worried about it now. So going about without, um, a lot of clothes on for me, it's problematic because they're parts of my body. My body's mine; it's my own, and I do not want to. I don't want it to be seen or made known, or the appearance of it or the familiarity of it made known to other people. I just don't want to do that. So it is my choice to cover up it in the way that I see fit. And if I go to a particular place, say for example a mosque or something, I would make sure that I'm wearing the appropriate dress for being in there. So to come back to when Western people come to places, Western people, I'm just saying, come to places, or any other person who considers that um, their culture is more superior than the place that they're going to, or perhaps they have a certain lifestyle or a certain way of being, and that's what they are going to promote and that's what they're going to follow through with, if you like. But so no adaptations are going to be made insofar as their approach is concerned if they go somewhere different. Okay? So, generally, I find if you go somewhere that's different to what you're used to, it is probably a good thing out of respect, as a mark of respect to the place that you've gone to kind of um, keep slightly to their customs and their traditions and their culture. You don't have to believe in it and you don't have to be part of it, but you can adapt your life accordingly depending on where you are. And if you do that, to me, that is a mark of respect. That is a sign of acknowledging that acknowledging the people where you are, acknowledging that that is their space and that is the way that they choose to live their lives. Okay? So, in many ways, you cannot go to somebody's area and be an alien. You can't go there and be an alien. You have to be part of the community. You have to be part of who they are and what it is that they're doing. And that's the point I'm trying to make, and I'm not sure if I'm coming across very sensibly, but it is a good thing to go to somebody's um, country, region, town, or area and pay attention to how how they live their lives and how they approach things in general. And it is also important as a mark of respect for them and how they are to modify and adapt your life and behavior. Now, when you move away from that space and that place and that region, obviously you continue life as you've normally done it. But whilst you're there, I think it is right and appropriate to um, modify according to what you meet, and live life in a way that doesn't put you totally at odds with what you find. And I'm saying this because I've seen over the years, I've seen in Senegal, I've seen here in Sierra Leone, I've seen in other African countries that I've been, people from Western cultures have come and they've just like, you know, a woman I saw at a mosque in Senegal, who's American, went to the mosque. This is in an area where people go there for worship. It's an Islamic um, area, and people go there for prayer and meditation and worship. And obviously, she was going as a tourist. She wasn't going there for religious reasons. But you have to cover up. You're allowed to go there as a tourist. You're allowed to watch things, but you're not allowed to go about wearing shorts, for example. And you're certainly not allowed to go into a mosque without covering up yourselves. Now, whether you agree with it or not is beside the point. It is beside the point. That is their area, it's their region, and it's their space. So cover up accordingly, or modify your behavior accordingly. If you want to go around this beautiful city where they're there, they've made it up for a particular purpose. They've got it organized in the way that they want. It's their region, it's their history, it's their culture. So whilst you're there, you have to respect that. You have to respect that this is who they are, and I'm here as an outsider, an onlooker, to observe what's going on, perhaps to be a part of it, perhaps to enjoy the ambience, perhaps to enjoy the scenery, perhaps to enjoy the people who are there. And in doing so, I must modify what I'm putting on my body. I must modify perhaps my language, that sort of thing. But you do get a feel sometimes that it's all very condescending, and that people really don't have a sense of what respect is, what respecting other people and other cultures is all about. They don't have a sense of it. They don't have an understanding of it. Do you know what I mean? They just think that oftentimes people just think what they're up to and what they understand and how they live really is the best way. As humans, we all sort of tend to think like that. We don't step back a little and say, hang on, a person has a right to be how they want to be. Okay? And for cultures that the world tell us, because of economics, it's mainly, I feel, because of economics. For these cultures, um, because they tend to have the upper hand insofar as resources are concerned, they literally just go around feeling like, what they're thinking and how they're expressing themselves through life and how they observe life and all its twists and turns really is the way to be. It isn't. It's your way to be. Might not be my way to be. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you go to somebody's place, if you go to their region, their area, their country, their city, their town, it's not your lifestyle, not your way of being. Observe them a while, and modify your behavior. Show respect. Show respect. Show that you consider them as worthy humans, by just modifying your behavior. Okay? In a place where women are happy to cover up, don't go around wearing shorts under your bum. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying you have to cover up like them, but wear something a bit longer. In a place where men have their hair on their heads completely shaved off, maybe have a low haircut. Don't go around with locks. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, when you're in a place and you're part of it and you're living there for the duration, adapt, respect, pay attention. All right? Thank you for listening. Do please subscribe to my channel. Lovely to talk to you. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm being silly. Lovely to talk to you and speak soon. Cheers.